I know a common question, at least for me, was how big do my inventory need to be to make X amount of sales a day? A sale a day, 3 sales a day, 5 sales a day. How much inventory do I need to send in or need to have an inventory to make $1,000 a month, $500 a month, $2,000 a month, whatever it is? There's a lot of those questions, so I thought I would address one specific number, which I've seen before people ask about, and take my shot at it based upon my experience and the sales numbers I've had and that sort of thing. So how many book sales per month do you need to net $1,000 a month? I don't know what your sourcing costs are, but I'm gonna base this on the ASP or average sale price of books. So I'm gonna take $15 and $20. Basically $14.95, but basically $15. A $15 ASP, which is the average sale price per book, would net you, or Amazon would pay you about $10. So it's going to vary based upon the dimension and the weight of the book. I'm talking about books here, of course. You can apply this to other things, but let's stick to books. So on average, you make about $10, or Amazon will pay you around $10. So that's an easy number to work with. It might be less if the item is heavier, if the book is heavier, is large, that sort of thing. It might be dropped down to closer to 9, might be over 10 if it's a really thin, small book. So let's just say 10 to average it out to make this a simple case. So that means if you sell a book for around $15, so about $14.95, $15, Amazon will pay you about $10. So therefore you're netting $10. Of course you have to take into consideration sourcing costs, but I don't know what your sourcing costs are, what your average sourcing costs are. So take that into account and adjust the numbers accordingly. So based upon $10 sale, that means you would need 100 sales a month to make $1,000. Simple math. So you divide the 100 sales into 30 days in a month on average, and you get 3.3 sales a day. So at least 3 sales, maybe 3 to 4. So that would mean most days 3 sales, a 4th or 5th sale on some days to average it out. But let's say you average about 3+ sales a day. So that should give you about $1,000 a month. Based upon your average sale price being $15. Well, how do you get an average sale price of $15? Well, you only or mostly send in books that are selling for $15 or more dollars. If you have a lot of books selling for around $10, or most of them or half of them, then you might not be hitting that $15 number. But if you're around that, then you know you need to get at least 100 sales a month, about 3 to 4 a day. Comfortably make $1,000 a month from Amazon, or get paid $1,000. And then of course you need to deduct your sourcing costs, so maybe you need a little bit more sales. Maybe you need 4 or 5 a day to hit that $1,000 comfortably. Now, what if your ASP, which is high, was $20? Based upon a $20 ASP, Amazon will pay you about $14. Again, this depends on the book and the size and the weight and that sort of thing, but around $14. So $14 means you need to make about 71 or 72 sales a month, which is 2.3 sales a day. So again, 2 to 3 sales a day. Play it safe, about 3 sales. If you want to make $1,000, if you have a higher ASP. So if you're going for those higher priced, more profitable books, then you're going to want to hit more like 70, 75 sales a month. Or you know that's what you're going to want to hit to make $1,000 a month. So you can adjust these numbers accordingly. If you have an even higher ASP, then you don't need to make as many sales. If you have a lower ASP like $12, $11, $10, then clearly you need to make more like 150, 200 sales to make that $1,000 a month. So hopefully that helps you out a bit, having an idea based upon what your ASP has been. That's kind of what you want to base it on, what your average is, which is a good indicator of the kind of books you're finding. For a long time, I was around $18 ASP. But when I started to send in some lower priced CDs, that dropped. And also when I started to send in lower priced books that sell quickly, that ASP dropped. Now it's around $12, $13. It just varies on the kind of books that you send in and kind of books that you only want to work with. If you want to work with all of them, sell them all from $8 to $100, or if you want to focus on $15, $20, whatever it is, then you kind of can work with that and find out what the number would be. Also, then I'm sure a lot of you are going to ask, well, then what does my inventory level need to be? How many books do I need to ship in? You need to make 100 sales a month. You need to at least be shipping in 100 a month, probably more, probably like 150 to stay ahead. I don't know exactly how big your inventory needs to be before you start hitting that 100 sales a month to make $1,000 a month net. It could be 800 books. It could be 1,200. It could be 1,500. It depends on a couple things. Depends on how fast your books are selling, how competitively, based upon how competitive you're pricing them, and whether or not they're long tails or quicker sales. However, the quicker the sale is for the book, the lower the price tends to be. You might make a quick sale on a textbook or a school-related book, but a non-school book tends to not be priced that high if it's going to sell really quickly. So the books that are ranked under 100,000, definitely under 50,000, definitely under 10,000, you tend to be around the $10 range unless you're somehow finding much better priced books that are selling like crazy. All these things you have to take into consideration. There's not a clear-cut answer, but I would say at least probably 1,000 to 1,200 in inventory and sending in about 100 to 200 a month to continually make that 1,000 plus a month. There's a lot of variables, so it just depends on your scenario and your case. So hopefully this helps out, whether you're starting out new, you're kind of into it for the last 6 months to a year, slowly building up your inventory, you're starting to make some decent money from Amazon, seeing those payouts every 2 weeks, which is awesome, and you're seeing more frequent sales, and you're wondering, well, when can I hit 1,000 a month? When can I hit 2,000 a month? The answer to that question is, well, it depends. But hopefully this will help you a little bit. But the bottom line is you always want to source a lot and ship a lot. That will increase your sales, bottom line. And the more items you send in, the more sales you'll make. The more long tail you'll send in, the more sales you make down the road that are for higher profit. The more quicker selling, the more sales you make immediately in the next weeks, couple months. So about 100 sales a month for a $15 ASP and about 75 a month for a $20 ASP. Again, it might be a little bit higher with the sales if you're based upon what your sourcing costs are. If you're getting books for 50 cents, 25 cents, next to nothing, then probably those numbers are pretty accurate. If $1 to $2, you probably have to make a few more sales to hit that $1,000 net profit. As always, remember, keep booking.